Hey guys, Trevor John coming at you with another Diablo Immortal video. I wanted to go ahead and address something. So obviously you guys are aware I took a little bit of a break from Diablo Immortal. Back at it, I'm trying to grind up. I'm 25 levels below Silver Paragon. I just sat down to start grinding for the night. Probably grind for another 3-4 hours tonight. I should hit maybe 303 tonight, 304. Eventually we'll get there, right? Eventually we're getting there. I'm gonna go slow. I'm taking it slow, but I wanted to talk about why I basically quit Diablo Immortal for a while, and kind of to see maybe how what I was experiencing and going through, if maybe you are going to, if you're experiencing something similar, and what can help you to kind of like not maybe lose complete interest in the game. All right, so some of you, I'm sure, kind of noticed that, yeah, I dropped off. I pretty much, I quit playing Diablo Immortal there for a minute. The daily posts were kind of going down. Obviously, you guys can tell I've been doing daily posts again. It's because I'm getting more active in the game, and I didn't want to do daily posts on a game that I wasn't actively playing. It just didn't feel right as a content creator to kind of go out there and be like, yeah, I'm playing the game. Here's this blah 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 blah, and when I wasn't actually like experiencing or doing anything myself. I do think part of the reason why like I was facing so much, like I guess we'll call it burnout, is there were a lot of things that I kind of took for granted with Diablo Immortal. First things first is, you know, I thought I thought being that this was the next Diablo franchise, that the next game in the franchise, that it would just be like immaculate, right? Like they would have everything dialed in. There'd be so much content you could never get bored with. And I quickly found out it wasn't as polished as what it should have been for the amount of time they developed it. There's a lot of bugs in the game. There's still bugs in the game to this day. That doesn't, I don't think that'll ever go away. And I've come to accept that. I'm not so like upset about that, but I was a little let down at the beginning because what we were promised with Diablo Immortal, or what the potential promise could have been, just never got to see the fruition, right? We started off this game with such mass negativity that it took the entire franchise in a massive nosedive. I mean, even now, a lot of people there's a lot of people I doubt that even tried Diablo 4 at this point, because they tried Diablo Immortal, saw how paywall it was, and no longer like believes Blizzard that it's not going to be a paywall, right? And unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. But for me, that wasn't an issue. That wasn't really an issue. That wasn't what kind of brought me into not wanting to play it. What brought me into not wanting to play it is the fact that they weren't taking into consideration a lot of our feedback. Now, granted, yes, now they are. Like, obviously, as we're recording this video, this is the first day of the server transfer. So far, the server transfer, I mean, I haven't noticed a huge difference. There's a little bit uptick and obviously population of the server. World chat is crazy. It's just crazy now. It was crazy before, don't get me wrong. Like, world chat had some people, man. But it's definitely got some more people. They're interesting, I'll tell you that much for sure. I hung out in world chat for about 10 minutes after saying my name and then talking to them. I was like, nope, no thank you. Let's get out of this. But yeah, I mean, you can tell it's a little bit more active. It's a little bit the vault's been super active today. It's different. It's a different dynamic. It feels closer to what it did back when the game first started. But I think the biggest thing to note is, like, we talked about how set gears, there needs to be like an essence for it, or there needs to be something, right, for your set gear. The fact that they gave us something that we can craft them is amazing. That in itself is just, I mean, that's what it should be, right? That's literally how it should be. Being able to do something like that and utilize it and not be penalized or just throw it out the wind. Because, I mean, let's be honest, when we turn around and you salvage these greens, what would you get beforehand? You got, these glowing shards, and that was it. That's kind of a rip for how hard it is to get these items. But the fact that the content never came and dropped more and more and more, and the fact they weren't listening was very discouraging. But now that they're starting to listen, and we've got this item for the set items, we've got the what is it? The server transfers happen. That was something we said. There's other small features in the game that they've talked about that they're going to slowly implement, right? We've already got the distinguishedness from the crest. That was another huge thing too, that we all argued, like, well, this is dumb. Like, how do we know which one's which? They're too close to match. There was the whole debacle with Blessing of the Worthy. Like, there's so much that's gone on in Diablo Immortal that it's kind of hard. Like, it all topples together. But the one thing that I noticed that never changed is the fact that Diablo Immortal is consistent. If anything, they are consistent, and that's one thing that I think a lot of people take it for granted when it comes to games. Is there's a lot of times people will go up and down, they'll go all over the place to try to create that best experience, or so they say, for you. But unfortunately, it's just one of those where you're not guaranteed that, and you really aren't, and it's not going to be something where you're going to be like, okay, well, I guess I'll play this game today because I know it's blah 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 blah, like, and then it just changes after an update. Diablo Immortal isn't changing; it's consistent. I know when I started playing again that it was going to be the same grind, and it has been. It's one thing that, if not consistent, and that's actually a good feeling for me right now, because I know I can play for a couple of hours, I can kill some time and have fun and enjoy it while I'm doing it. I do know that going free to play definitely influenced a lot of my decisions on playing Diablo Immortal moving forward. And once again, yeah, you guys can say whatever you want about free to play, about I'm not free to play because I've spent thousands of dollars. I get it, whatever, I don't care. At the end of the day, I stopped spending money on the game. I wailed out, I stopped spending money on the game, and it killed the drive. I'm not gonna lie. When you go from, like, so let's put things into perspective. I'm a gacha game content creator. For example, if you want, I'll put a link down below. I have another channel. I make literally daily YouTube videos on Infinite Magic Raid. It's a gacha game, right? It's very similar to Raid Shadow Legends, which is a game where all Aftershock United content creators are familiar with that game. We've all played it. We've all done content on it, right? But the simple fact of, like, we were used to that type of a system with, pulling shards, with spending money. So this was nothing. This was literally nothing to us when we came over to Diablo Immortal. Like, okay, you gotta buy crests, you got RNG for gems. Like, okay, yeah, like, it's just like doing a 10 pop on on our gacha game, trying to get that one character that we need for a dungeon comp or whatever, right? Like, to us, we were conditioned. It's not a big deal. But what we weren't conditioned for is the fact that, so when you go from having that type of realistic expectation of, okay, well, I'm spending $200 to $300 a week, to I'm not spending anything anymore, and going from, like, up here to immediately down here. Like, there was no break-in period. There was no grace period where, like, oh, I'll just slow down here. Like, I legitimately just, like, no, I'm done spending, made an announcement video, followed through. I still haven't spent a dime ever since then. It killed the I guess my routine with the game, the consistency of the game. Dopamine was never something that's been huge in this, because let's be honest, running those crests just doesn't do it. It's not one of those, it's not like pulling shards in a gacha game where you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna wait. Like, you just know, unfortunately in this game, it's just gonna be bad. It's more than likely it's gonna be bad. And that's just what they do. But the fact that I stopped playing or stopped spending so much meant that my resources also went down. I was making steady gains. I was kind of top in our server for our guild for a little while there. I kind of fell off a bit. Like, once I hit 2K resonance, I kind of slowed down because I was like, whatever, I don't care about 3K wings. Still don't to this day. But the thing of the matter was like, I never dropped a 5 out of 5. I never dropped a 4 out of 5 gym. So it just wasn't like, the dopamine's not there. And then when you go to not spending at all and you don't get any crests, like, then you're not even running the pay to win mechanic. It's just one of those, it doesn't lend itself to a nice feeling, because I've literally watched as my resonance stays stagnant, right? Like, my resonance isn't going to change because the chances of me getting a gym to upgrade is slim to none. So it drags you down a lot when you're like, okay, well, I spent all this money, I spent all this time, I got used to this, the feeling of the sense of progression. And then when you stop spending and you go to free to play, or we'll call it normalcy mode, right, where a lot of people are at with the game, it changes your expectations and your feelings about the game. And I think that's kind of what I was feeling mostly, was because it wasn't as fun for me, because it got stale. Like, it wasn't like I was running 10 pops, or like, I wasn't trying to, well, let's see this, like a negatively influence a friend of like peer pressure, like, hey, buy these, join me, right? You know, we didn't have like those fun types of events anymore because I wasn't spending, and a lot of the other players that I play with aren't as well. So it's not like it's just me, but it definitely affected it because it's like, what's the point at this time? Like, I'm not running crest. My friends are dropping left and right. I'm not seeing any gains in damage output. Resonance obviously isn't going up because we're not spending. Gear, you know, at the time, my gear was okay. It wasn't like it was god tier, but you didn't need god tier gear if your resonance was good. And even then, now my resonance kind of crap. It's like, well, now we're stuck at Paragon 5, so it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it is what it is. But it definitely changes the aspect and the view of the game. And I think a lot of players out there who played, who have quit, and maybe every now and then log back in or come back in, or even just keep watching my YouTube videos. Because I've had a lot of people comment and be like, hey, yeah, I like your content, blah, 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 blah. You know, I quit Diablo Immortal a while back, but I love to watch the support. And I'm like, hey, you know, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, because I don't know that I could personally watch a bunch of YouTube videos on a concept that I don't appreciate just to help out a friend. I'm not gonna lie, unless you're a close friend of mine, I'm probably not doing that for you. But it is nice. But one piece of advice I can give everyone who maybe is struggling to play Diablo Immortal or keep up anymore, go slow with it. I think one of the best things that I've really enjoyed about playing Diablo Immortal again is the simple fact that the grind feels good right now. I'm grinding up, I'm getting constant levels, the dopamine's great. It's not like it's like, you know, oh man, this is such a drag, this is such a chore. Like, I'm enjoying it because I'm constantly getting levels, I'm constantly upgrading my Paragon tree, I'm getting legendary drops. If I was server Paragon, I'd be bored. I would be bored. In-game hasn't changed with Diablo Immortal, but I think when you take it too seriously like I did at the beginning, because I thought this game was going to catapult my YouTube channel. It was going to be GG. I was going to be a full-time content creator. No problem. Yeah, I know. A little ambitious, kind of like Raid Shadow Legends. But at the end of the day, like, I took it way too serious. And so the combination of everything put together really detracts and deters from it, because it's not like, I mean, the game's not bad, guys. The game is not bad. It's a fun game. It is what it is. It's consistent. You're guaranteed to have, you know, something to do for several hours if you just want to like kill time or have fun or do, you know, mindlessly kill stuff. That's what ARPG games are for, right? But yeah, I think a combination of all those aspects rolled into one thing is really what kind of killed my drive to play Diablo Immortal. And what really led to, honestly, like so far the downfall of my YouTube channel, but also just the general feeling of like, hey, the game, you know, putting a bad taste in my mouth for the game. And now that I've kind of come back and we're just grinding here and there, we're having fun with it. I'm literally playing maybe an hour or two a night, topped. After recording this video, I'm gonna go hop in a voice chat with some of my friends, and we'll laugh and we'll shoot the shit and have fun while I'm just kind of grinding up my levels. And you know what? It's that little interaction, it's that little bit that's gonna keep me motivated and going to continue playing Diablo Immortal. I'm curious, how do all of you guys feel? Where are you guys all at? Is everyone getting burned out? Is everyone loving it? Is everybody moving forward, like, you know, getting excited for the new content to come? Or, you know, or are you done? Let me know. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion. Also, let me know what you think about my story. Like, is this something that you relate to? Is this not something, like, did you have a different story? I would love to hear it if you did. If you're someone else who left the game but came back and now you're loving it again, I would love to hear why. Like, I'd love to hear more information, more and know more about you guys and what keeps you guys interested in playing the game. Because honestly, like, it's those things that are, I don't know. When a game can bring you joy, it's a great feeling. So I'm always curious to see what other aspects people have other than myself that make them enjoy video games. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching till the end. If you did, please like and subscribe. Also, there's a HelloFresh link down below. If you wouldn't mind clicking it, signing up. I get back from one box getting shipped to you for like 20 bucks, more money than I've ever made on YouTube for the highest viewed video. So pretty significant. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.